This is my 2002 Freightliner FS65 school bus. I'm going to be eventually converting this into an RV, and hopefully next June, taking a cross-country trip across the U.S. with this thing. Now, I'll show you the shape of it and some details and stuff I've done so far, but I picked this bus up for $1,300. And it only has 155,000 miles on it. Now, it is from the Salt Belt, so there is some damage to it. Well, not damage, but a little bit of some rusty areas. But nothing that's not fixable. So we'll go around the side here. I've sanded this whole bus down already, ready for paint. This was stuck on here by a few of my friends. But it's been sanded down, so there's still some shine to it. Like, I wasn't really able to sand this, because you have to do that by hand, and that would take too long and it's really hard, so I didn't do that. But all the side panels are mostly done. Now I'll pull this bus out, we'll start it too. Tight squeeze. So I've removed all the decals, everything that says school bus, all the reflective tape around the doors. So it's pretty clean. Now here's the lock I installed right here. See if I can find my keys for it. Stainless steel, I picked it up from Home Depot for about, I think it was like $7 or $8. It's really easy to install. I had to grind down a rivet in the back there. A few of them actually, I think there's one on the bottom too. But, just put the key in. Thing opens up. Oh God, it's locked shut. Ice shut, rather. And here's the inside. I put this down so I can get it for a second. Okay, so my light on. I've taken out most of the seats. All the seats I'm taking out for now, anyway. I had to use an angle grinder and cut all the bolts. It wasn't that hard. You can get a cutting wheel. I think I got them from Harbor Freight, and it went pretty easy. When we put new speakers inside this bus with a nice amp to get some good sound quality. So that's the part I was trying to figure out what size speaker to get. But obviously it's go big or go home. So even though those are some small ones, I think I'm getting some 6.5 inch maybe. We'll see. I think I'm gonna leave this heater here for now anyway. But and I had to leave the single seater. Everybody loves the single seater, so I had to leave this. Now these hatches leak. These roof hatches leak pretty bad. You can see some rust and corrosion around the side. And it runs underneath, on top of the roof here. It runs down the side of the bus and onto the floor. So the floor gets soaked every time it rains. You can see the rust runs here. And it gets wet all down there. Same thing happens on this side. So you can see some of the rust around the side of the speaker there. So, where I got this bus, I might include part of that clip. The guy had 4 more buses, but these were all going to the scrapyard. This bus was going to the scrapyard too. So I was able to get these hatches from another bus. They're in excellent shape. They're $600 a piece if you were buying brand new. Got them for free. So I'll be swapping out these hatches with those newer ones. You can see some of the rust around the side where it leaks. So what happens is these things get hit by branches. When you're driving down narrow streets, they get cracks. You can see the cracks in the plastic there. And then they just leak. So that's one of the few things I'll be doing. Pretty dirty. I've never seen bus seats like this, but they're kind of nasty. But nothing that can't be cleaned, I guess. So here's up front here. It's cockpit.
pretty good shape. I'm going to start this up. This is the coldest I've started the bus. The thing gets lower 30s, upper 20s. Just did an oil change days ago. Takes 18 quarts of oil. It's a lot of oil. Let me close that back door. We're going to get a lot of buzzing. There we go. So it takes 18 quarts of oil.
Yeah.
We're going to be wiring a nice stereo here pretty soon. So I had to trace. So there was just a weird connector on the end. I don't know if it's still over here. Yeah, it's right here. And there's this weird connector that was connected to that, and I'm pretty sure no stereo that you buy in the store is ever going to fit into that. So I stripped them all off, and I used a multimeter to figure out what wire pairs go to what speakers. So I'm going to put some nice ones in. I got an amp already that I got. So let's start this thing up. I'll move it out and do an exterior thing. Okay, so this has a 5.9 liter Cummins turbo diesel in it. The same thing that's actually in my truck. It's right out there. Same motor, so I'm very familiar with it. And the bus is the same year as my truck. It's 2002, so very familiar with the engine. If anything goes wrong with it, I got an idea how it works. Get the key right down here. Wait to start. Get those grid heaters moving. Heats up the air that goes into the intake. See that light right there? Slow mine before you go out. We'll see if it fires. I don't know if it's gonna. Wow, it's on for a long time. We'll see. Throttle. Wow. Yeah, this thing kind of starts hard. A lot harder than my truck. My truck starts out no problem. This thing, it's got a high oil right there. So I flip that switch, engage it close to 1,000 RPM. So I think it's 900. But yeah, this thing smokes too. Let's go check out some of the smoke this thing's producing. Actually, I'll pull it out first. So these transmissions on these things, they don't have park. This is stuff out in now. It doesn't got a park. It's just got a reverse neutral drive, so you put it in neutral and you set the e-brake. Nothing fancy. So actually, let me look at the oil pressure. Wow, that's high oil pressure. Top gauge right there. But yeah, she's gold. Let's see what we got for smoke. Actually, doesn't seem too bad. Yeah, it does smoke. So when I purchased this bus, I haven't added fuel to this. When I purchased this bus, it had a over full tank of fuel. And I believe this fuel tank is 100 gallons. So this bus comes with 100 gallons of free fuel. But the problem is, I think this fuel is a year or more old, which could be why it smokes. Now, when you give this thing throttle, it smokes white, and it smokes quite a bit. I mean, that could be anything from injectors to That's all for now.